How Mindfulness Changes Everything. Introduction. The Unseen Power of Presence. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, we are constantly bombarded with information, demands, and distractions. Our minds often race, caught in a perpetual loop of planning for the future, replaying the past, or simply reacting to the endless stream of external stimuli. This relentless mental activity, while sometimes necessary, frequently leaves us feeling overwhelmed, fragmented, and disconnected from the very essence of our lives. We move through our days on autopilot, missing the richness, the subtleties, and the profound opportunities for peace and insight that exist in each unfolding moment. This book, How Mindfulness Changes Everything, is an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to gently shift your attention to the present. It is a guide to understanding and integrating mindfulness into your daily life, revealing how this simple yet profound practice can transform your experience of the world, your relationships, your work, and your inner landscape. Mindfulness is not a mystical concept or a complex ritual. It is the fundamental human capacity to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, without becoming overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's happening. Many people associate mindfulness solely with formal meditation, envisioning long hours of silent sitting. While meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness, the practice itself extends far beyond the cushion. It is about bringing a quality of conscious attention to every aspect of your life, from the mundane acts of eating and walking to the complexities of difficult conversations and challenging work projects. It is about waking up to your life, right here, right now. Through accessible insights, practical exercises, and illustrative scenarios, this book will explore how mindfulness can fundamentally alter your perception and interaction with reality. You will discover how to define and understand what mindfulness truly is, beyond common misconceptions. Explore the scientific basis of mindfulness and its impact on your brain and body. Reduce stress and cultivate calm by anchoring yourself in the present. Deepen your relationships through enhanced presence and compassionate listening. Boost focus and productivity in your professional life. Transform everyday activities into opportunities for awareness and enjoyment. Navigate challenging emotions with greater wisdom and less reactivity. Foster self-compassion and acceptance for yourself and your experiences. Reclaim your attention in a digitally saturated world. Enhance creativity and problem-solving through a clear, present mind. How Mindfulness Changes Everything is not a promise of a problem-free existence, but a pathway to a richer, more resilient, and more fulfilling one. It is a compassionate companion on your journey to unlocking the transformative power of presence, revealing how a simple shift in attention can indeed change everything. Chapter 1. What is mindfulness? Beyond meditation. The term mindfulness has become ubiquitous, often appearing in headlines, corporate training programs, and self-help guides. Yet, despite its popularity, its true meaning can remain elusive, often conflated with meditation, relaxation, or even a form of spiritual escapism. To truly understand how mindfulness changes everything, we must first clarify what it is and what it is not. At its core, mindfulness is a fundamental human capacity, the ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's happening around us. It is a state of conscious attention, a deliberate bringing of awareness to the present moment, without judgment. This means paying attention to our thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations, and the external environment, all as they unfold, without getting caught up in their narratives or wishing them to be different. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind of thoughts. That's an impossible task. Our minds are designed to think. Instead, it's about changing your relationship with your thoughts, observing them as transient mental events rather than absolute truths or commands. It's also not about achieving a state of blissful calm, though calm can often be a byproduct. Mindfulness is about meeting whatever arises pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral with an open, accepting awareness. Consider an individual who is accustomed to constantly multitasking. While eating breakfast, they are simultaneously checking emails, planning their day, and listening to the news. Their body is present, but their mind is scattered across multiple future and past concerns. They finish their meal without truly tasting it, arrive at work feeling already drained, and experience a pervasive sense of being on autopilot. This is a state of mindlessness. In contrast, if this individual were to practice mindfulness, they would consciously choose to focus on one activity at a time. During breakfast, they might put away their phone and simply notice the warmth of their coffee cup, the aroma of their food, the textures and flavors with each bite. When their mind inevitably wanders to work tasks, they would gently acknowledge the thought, planning thought, and then guide their attention back to the experience of eating. This simple shift transforms a rushed, unconscious act into a moment of intentional presence, allowing them to feel more grounded and appreciative. Mindfulness is a skill, and like any skill, it is developed through practice. Formal meditation practices, such as sitting meditation, where you focus on the breath, are excellent ways to train this muscle of attention. However, mindfulness can also be practiced informally throughout your day, by bringing conscious awareness to everyday activities. Key characteristics of mindfulness: presence, being fully in the current moment, not dwelling on the past or anticipating the future. Awareness, noticing internal and external experiences as they happen. Non-judgment, observing thoughts, feelings, and sensations without labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. Acceptance, acknowledging reality as it is, rather than resisting it. This doesn't mean condoning or liking everything, but simply recognizing what is true in the present. Curiosity, approaching experiences with an open, inquiring mind, like a scientist observing a phenomenon. Understanding these core tenets is the first step in unlocking the transformative potential of mindfulness. It moves beyond a mere technique to a fundamental way of being that can indeed change everything. Chapter 2: The Neuroscience of Mindfulness: Rewiring Your Brain. For centuries, mindfulness practices were rooted in spiritual and contemplative traditions. Today, thanks to advancements in neuroscience and brain imaging, we have a scientific understanding of how mindfulness works and its profound impact on the brain. This research provides compelling evidence that mindfulness is not just a feel-good practice, but a powerful tool for rewiring our brains, enhancing well-being, and improving cognitive function. The brain is remarkably adaptable, a concept known as neuroplasticity. This means that our experiences, thoughts, and practices can actually change the physical structure and function of our brains. Mindfulness, consistently practiced, has been shown to lead to measurable changes in key brain regions associated with attention, emotion regulation, and self-awareness. One of the most significant findings is the impact of mindfulness on the prefrontal cortex. This area, located behind your forehead, is responsible for higher-order cognitive functions such as planning, decision-making, working memory, and emotional regulation. Regular mindfulness practice has been linked to increased gray matter density in this region, suggesting enhanced capacity for these executive functions. This means you can think more clearly, make better decisions, and manage your emotions more effectively. Another crucial area affected is the amygdala, often referred to as the brain's fear center. The amygdala plays a central role in processing emotions, particularly fear and anxiety, and triggering the fight or flight response. Studies show that mindfulness can lead to a reduction in amygdala activity and a decrease in its size. This translates to a reduced physiological stress response, meaning you are less likely to be overwhelmed by stress and can recover more quickly from stressful events. Furthermore, mindfulness strengthens the connections between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. This enhanced communication allows the prefrontal cortex to exert greater regulatory control over the amygdala's emotional reactions. In essence, you gain more control over your emotional responses, moving from automatic reactivity to conscious choice. Consider an individual who frequently experiences high levels of anxiety, often triggered by minor stressors. Their amygdala might be highly active, constantly sending danger signals, leading to a perpetual state of unease, shallow breathing, and difficulty concentrating. Their prefrontal cortex, responsible for calm reasoning, might be less effective at regulating these emotional surges. Through consistent mindfulness practice, such as daily focused breathing exercises, this individual begins to notice subtle shifts. They might find that when anxiety arises, they are able to pause before reacting, observe the physical sensations of anxiety without being overwhelmed, and consciously engage their breath to calm their nervous system. Over time, brain scans might show increased activity in their prefrontal cortex and decreased activity in their amygdala, reflecting a more balanced and resilient neural network. This allows them to approach stressful situations with greater clarity and less emotional reactivity, demonstrating a tangible change in their brain's response to stress. Mindfulness also impacts the insula, a brain region involved in interoception, the awareness of internal bodily states. A more active insula means a heightened ability to tune into your body's signals, such as hunger, fatigue, or early signs of stress. This increased body awareness is crucial for self-regulation and making healthier choices. In essence, mindfulness trains your brain to be more present, less reactive, and more resilient. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger and more efficient these neural pathways become. Understanding this scientific basis provides a powerful motivation to integrate mindfulness into your life, knowing that you are actively shaping your brain for greater well-being and a more present existence. Chapter 3: Mindfulness and Stress Reduction. Finding Calm in Chaos. Stress is an unavoidable part of modern life. Deadlines, financial pressures, relationship challenges, and the constant demands of a busy world can leave us feeling perpetually overwhelmed and on edge. While we can't eliminate all stressors, mindfulness offers a powerful and scientifically validated approach to changing our relationship with stress, allowing us to find calm even amidst chaos. It's not about making stress disappear, but about transforming our response to it. Our typical reaction to stress often involves a fight-or-flight response triggered by the sympathetic nervous system. This evolutionary mechanism, designed for immediate threats, becomes maladaptive when activated chronically by everyday stressors. It leads to increased heart rate, shallow breathing, muscle tension, and a flood of stress hormones like cortisol, which can have detrimental long-term effects on our physical and mental health. Mindfulness intervenes by introducing a conscious pause. Instead of automatically reacting to a stressful situation, mindfulness encourages us to observe the stress response as it arises: the racing thoughts, the physical sensations, the emotional urges without judgment. This act of observation creates a crucial space between the stimulus and our reaction, allowing us to choose a more skillful response. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and counteracting the stress response. Consider an individual facing a significant work deadline, feeling immense pressure, and the onset of familiar stress symptoms: a tight chest, rapid breathing, and a mind racing with anxious thoughts about failure. Their usual response might be to push harder, work faster, and become irritable, exacerbating the stress. Through mindfulness, they learn to recognize these physical and mental cues as signals of stress, rather than being consumed by them. They might take a few deliberate, deep breaths, consciously feeling their body relax with each exhale. They observe the anxious thoughts, labeling them worry thought about deadline, without engaging in their narrative. This pause, even for a minute, allows the initial surge of stress hormones to subside. They can then approach the deadline with a clearer mind, perhaps breaking the task into smaller steps, or seeking support, rather than spiraling into overwhelm. This practice doesn't remove the deadline, but it changes their internal experience of the pressure, allowing them to find a sense of calm and effectiveness in the midst of a demanding situation. Key ways mindfulness reduces stress. Increased awareness of stress triggers. By being present, you become more attuned to the early signs of stress and the specific situations that trigger it. This allows for proactive rather than reactive management. Reduced rumination. Mindfulness helps to break the cycle of rumination, endlessly replaying stressful events or worrying about future ones. By bringing attention back to the present, you interrupt this mental loop. Enhanced emotional regulation. As discussed in Chapter 2, mindfulness strengthens the prefrontal cortex's ability to regulate the amygdala, leading to more controlled and less impulsive emotional responses to stress. Physiological calming. Deep, mindful breathing directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering heart rate, blood pressure, and muscle tension. Perspective shift. Mindfulness helps you to see stressful situations more objectively, recognizing that thoughts are not facts and that your reaction is often more impactful than the event itself. It fosters a sense of acceptance of what cannot be changed. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily life, even through short, consistent practices, can significantly reduce your overall stress levels and enhance your capacity to navigate challenging situations with greater calm and resilience. It's about finding an inner sanctuary amidst the external pressures, demonstrating that even in chaos, mindfulness changes everything by allowing you to find calm. Chapter 4. Mindfulness in Relationships. Connecting more deeply. Our relationships are the rich tapestry of our lives, providing connection, support, and meaning. Yet, in our distracted world, even our most cherished relationships can suffer from a lack of presence. We might be physically with loved ones, but mentally miles away, preoccupied with our phones, our to-do lists, or our own internal narratives. Mindfulness offers a profound pathway to deepening our connections, fostering empathy, and transforming our interactions from superficial exchanges to moments of genuine presence and understanding. Mindfulness in relationships is fundamentally about bringing full, non-judgmental attention to the other person and the interaction itself. It involves truly listening, observing nonverbal cues, and being aware of your own internal reactions without letting them hijack the conversation. This level of presence creates a space for authentic connection where both parties feel seen, heard, and valued. Consider an individual who frequently finds themselves in arguments with their partner, where conversations quickly escalate into misunderstandings and defensiveness. Often, during these exchanges, each person is formulating their next point while the other is still speaking, or they are mentally replaying past grievances rather than listening to the current message. This lack of present listening leads to a feeling of being unheard and frustrated for both parties. Through practicing mindfulness in their interactions, this individual learns to pause before responding. They consciously focus on truly hearing their partner's words, noticing the tone of voice, and observing their own internal reactions, e.g., "I'm feeling defensive." Instead of immediately interrupting or counter-arguing, they might take a silent breath, allowing their partner to finish and giving themselves a moment to process. This creates a space for a more thoughtful, less reactive response. Over time, this practice leads to fewer escalations, more productive discussions, and a deeper sense of understanding and empathy between them, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by fostering profound connection. Key aspects of mindfulness in relationships. Mindful listening. This is perhaps the most powerful relational mindfulness practice. It involves giving your full, undivided attention to the speaker. Put away distractions, make eye contact, listen to understand rather than to reply, and notice their words, tone, and body language. Non-judgmental observation. Observe the other person's behavior and words without immediately labeling them as good or bad. Try to understand their perspective with an open mind. Awareness of your own reactions. Notice your internal thoughts and emotions as they arise during an interaction. Are you feeling defensive, impatient, or judgmental? Acknowledge these feelings without letting them control your response. Intentional communication. Before speaking, pause and consider your intention. Are your words kind, necessary, and true? Are they contributing to connection or disconnection? Presence in shared activities. Whether it's eating a meal, going for a walk, or simply sitting together, be fully present. Engage your senses in the shared experience and appreciate the simple act of being together. Empathy and compassion. Mindfulness cultivates empathy by allowing you to step into another's shoes. When you are present, you are more attuned to their suffering or joy, fostering a compassionate response. Conflict resolution. In disagreements, mindfulness helps you to stay grounded, listen more effectively, and respond with greater wisdom and less reactivity, leading to more constructive resolutions. By consciously bringing mindfulness to your relationships, you move beyond superficial interactions to create deeper, more authentic connections. You become a more present, empathetic, and understanding partner, friend, and family member. This profound shift in how you relate to others is one of the most significant ways mindfulness changes everything, enriching your life with meaningful bonds. Chapter 5. Mindfulness at Work. Enhancing Focus and Productivity. In today's professional landscape where distractions abound and demands are relentless, maintaining focus and productivity can feel like an uphill battle. The constant barrage of emails, notifications, meetings, and competing priorities often leads to fragmented attention, increased stress, and a feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed. Mindfulness, far from being a soft skill, offers concrete strategies for enhancing cognitive function, improving decision-making, and fostering a more productive and fulfilling work experience. It's about working smarter, not just harder, by bringing intentional presence to your tasks. Mindfulness at work is about cultivating a focused awareness on the task at hand, whether it's writing a report, participating in a meeting, or responding to emails. It involves recognizing when your mind wanders and gently bringing it back, allowing you to engage more deeply and effectively with your responsibilities. This practice reduces the mental clutter that often impedes efficiency and creativity. Consider an individual who struggles with procrastination and a feeling of being constantly behind at work. They might spend a significant portion of their day checking emails, browsing irrelevant websites, or getting sidetracked by minor tasks, all while a major project looms. This leads to increased stress, missed deadlines, and a sense of inadequacy. Through practicing mindfulness at work, they learn to recognize the urge to procrastinate or get distracted. When they sit down to work on the major project, they might set a timer for focused work, e.g., 25 minutes, and commit to bringing their full attention to the task. When their mind wanders to social media or other distractions, they gently acknowledge the distraction thought, and guide their attention back to the project. They might also practice mindful email checking, dedicating specific blocks of time rather than reacting to every ping. This deliberate focus allows them to complete tasks more efficiently, with higher quality, and with a greater sense of accomplishment. They realize that by being fully present in their work, they not only improve their output, but also reduce their stress, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by enhancing professional effectiveness. Key applications of mindfulness in the workplace. Enhanced focus and attention. Mindfulness training improves sustained attention and reduces mind wandering, allowing you to concentrate more effectively on complex tasks. Reduce distraction. By becoming more aware of internal and external distractions, you gain the ability to choose whether to engage with them or return to your primary task. Improved decision-making. A calm, present mind is better equipped to analyze information, weigh options, and make rational decisions, free from emotional bias or impulsive reactions. Stress management. As discussed earlier, mindfulness directly reduces the physiological stress response, helping you remain calm and effective under pressure. Better communication. Mindful listening and intentional communication lead to clearer understanding, fewer misunderstandings, and more productive collaborations with colleagues and clients. Increased creativity. By quieting the mental noise, mindfulness creates space for new ideas and insights to emerge, fostering innovation. Burnout prevention. Regularly integrating mindful pauses and presence throughout the workday helps to prevent mental fatigue and burnout, promoting sustainable productivity. Mindful leadership. Leaders who practice mindfulness can foster more empathetic, focused, and resilient teams, creating a positive work culture. Managing difficult conversations. Staying present and non-reactive during challenging discussions allows for more constructive outcomes and reduced interpersonal conflict. Mindfulness is not about working harder or longer. It's about working with greater awareness, intention, and clarity. By integrating mindful practices into your professional life, you not only enhance your productivity and performance, but also cultivate a more fulfilling and less stressful work experience. This profound shift in how you approach your career is a powerful example of how mindfulness changes everything. Chapter 6. Mindful Eating. Savoring Every Bite. Eating is one of the most fundamental and frequent activities of our lives. Yet, for many, it has become a largely unconscious act, often rushed, distracted, and devoid of true enjoyment. We eat while scrolling on our phones, watching TV, working or driving, barely noticing the food we consume. This mindlessness around eating can lead to overeating, poor digestion, a lack of satisfaction, and a disconnect from our body's signals of hunger and fullness. Mindful eating is about reclaiming this essential experience, transforming it from a routine necessity into an opportunity for profound presence, sensory pleasure, and a healthier relationship with food. Mindful eating is the practice of bringing full, non-judgmental awareness to the experience of eating and drinking. It involves paying attention to the colors, textures, aromas, and flavors of your food, as well as the physical sensations of hunger, fullness, and satisfaction. It's about slowing down, savoring each bite, and tuning into your body's wisdom. Consider an individual who frequently eats quickly, often finishing their meal before they even realize they've eaten. They might grab convenient, processed foods, eat while distracted, and then feel unsatisfied or overly full, leading to a cycle of mindless snacking or overconsumption. This pattern often stems from stress, habit, or a disconnection from bodily cues. The turning point comes when they decide to experiment with mindful eating. They might start with one meal a day, perhaps a simple snack. Before taking a bite, they pause, noticing the appearance of the food. They then bring the food to their nose, inhaling its aroma. With the first bite, they consciously notice the texture, the initial flavors, and how those flavors change as they chew. They chew slowly, putting their fork down between bites, and tune into their body, asking, "Am I still hungry? Am I truly enjoying this?" This deliberate slowing down and sensory engagement transforms the eating experience. They might find they eat less, feel more satisfied, and gain a deeper appreciation for their food. This practice not only improves their relationship with food, but also extends their capacity for presence into a fundamental daily activity, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by enriching even the simplest acts. Key principles of mindful eating. Pause before you eat. Take a moment to pause before your first bite. Notice the food in front of you, your hunger level, and your intention for eating. Engage all your senses. Sight. Notice the colors, shapes, and presentation of your food. Smell. Inhale the aromas. Touch. Feel the texture of the food in your hands or on your fork. Sound. Notice the sounds of chewing or crunching. Taste. Pay attention to the initial flavors, how they evolve as you chew, and the aftertaste. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Put your fork down between bites. This allows your body time to register fullness signals. Tune in to hunger and fullness cues. Before, during, and after eating, check in with your body. Are you truly hungry? Are you satisfied, or are you still craving more? Learn to distinguish physical hunger from emotional hunger. Notice thoughts and emotions. Observe any thoughts or emotions that arise while you eat, e.g., guilt, pleasure, boredom. Acknowledge them without judgment. Eliminate distractions. Turn off the TV, put away your phone, and step away from your desk. Dedicate your full attention to the act of eating. Practice gratitude. Appreciate the food, its source, and the effort involved in bringing it to your table. Mindful eating is not a diet. It's a practice of awareness that can profoundly change your relationship with food and your body. By bringing presence to this essential activity, you not only enhance your physical well-being, but also cultivate a deeper connection to the present moment, finding joy and satisfaction in every bite. This shift in how you nourish yourself is a powerful example of how mindfulness changes everything. Chapter 7. Mindful Movement, Embodied Awareness. In our increasingly sedentary lives, movement often becomes a means to an end. Exercise for fitness, walking to get from point A to point B, or stretching to alleviate pain. We often perform these actions while our minds are elsewhere, planning, worrying, or listening to podcasts. Mindful movement, however, transforms physical activity from a chore or a distraction into an opportunity for deep presence, embodied awareness, and a profound connection between mind and body. It's about moving with intention, noticing every sensation, and finding joy in the act of being alive in your body. Mindful movement is the practice of bringing full, non-judgmental attention to the physical sensations, breath, and experience of your body as it moves. It can be incorporated into any form of physical activity, from a simple walk to yoga, dancing, or even household chores. The goal is not performance or achieving a specific outcome, but rather the cultivation of present moment awareness within the context of movement. Consider an individual who views exercise solely as a necessary evil for weight management or health, often pushing themselves through workouts with a sense of dread. Their mind focused on how many calories they're burning, or how much longer they have to endure. This leads to a disconnect from their body, potential injury due to ignoring subtle signals, and a lack of enjoyment in physical activity. The turning point comes when they experiment with mindful movement. During a walk, they might intentionally notice the sensation of their feet hitting the ground, the swing of their arms, the rhythm of their breath, and the feeling of the air on their skin. When their mind starts to wander to their to-do list, they gently bring it back to the physical sensations of walking. In a yoga class, they might focus on the stretch in each pose, the engagement of specific muscles, and the coordination of breath with movement, rather than comparing themselves to others or rushing through poses. This deliberate attention transforms exercise from a chore into a practice of self-connection and appreciation for their body's capabilities. They find that they not only feel better physically, but also experience a profound sense of mental clarity and peace, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by deepening their relationship with their own body. Key aspects of mindful movement. Tune into bodily sensations. Pay close attention to how your body feels as you move. Notice muscle engagement, stretches, balance, weight shifts, and any areas of tension or ease. Connect with your breath. Synchronize your movement with your breath. Let your breath guide your pace and intensity. Notice how your breath changes with different movements. Non-judgmental observation. Observe any thoughts or judgments that arise about your body, your performance, or your appearance. Acknowledge them, and then gently return your attention to the physical sensations of movement. Move with intention. Be aware of the purpose of each movement. Whether it's reaching for something, walking, or stretching, perform the action with conscious awareness. Listen to your body. Pay attention to signals of fatigue, pain, or discomfort. Adjust your movement or rest as needed, rather than pushing through mindlessly. Explore different forms. Mindful movement can be found in various activities. Walking. A simple walk can become a moving meditation. Yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong. These practices are inherently mindful, emphasizing breath, posture, and slow, deliberate movement. Dancing. Allow your body to move freely, expressing itself without judgment. Everyday activities. Bring awareness to reaching, bending, lifting, or climbing stairs. Mindful movement is a powerful way to integrate presence into your physical being. It fosters a deeper appreciation for your body's capabilities, reduces stress, and enhances your overall sense of well-being. By moving with awareness, you transform physical activity into a practice that nourishes both your body and your mind, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by bringing you fully into your embodied experience. Chapter 8. Cultivating Self-Compassion Through Mindfulness. In our often self-critical world, we are quick to judge ourselves, to highlight our flaws, and to berate ourselves for mistakes. This inner critic, fueled by societal pressures and past experiences, can be relentless, leading to feelings of inadequacy, shame, and anxiety. While self-improvement is valuable, a constant state of self-criticism undermines our well-being and makes it incredibly difficult to live mindfully. Cultivating self-compassion, a practice deeply intertwined with mindfulness, offers a powerful antidote, allowing us to meet our imperfections and struggles with kindness, understanding, and acceptance. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same warmth, care, and understanding you would offer a dear friend who is suffering. It involves three core components, as defined by researcher Dr. Kristen Neff. Mindfulness, being present with your suffering. This means acknowledging your pain, inadequacy, or difficulty without judgment or suppression. It's simply recognizing this is a moment of suffering. Common humanity, recognizing that suffering, imperfection, and making mistakes are part of the shared human experience. You are not alone in your struggles. All humans experience this. I am not unique in my imperfection. Self-kindness, responding to your suffering with warmth and gentleness, rather than harsh self-criticism. It's actively comforting yourself, offering words of encouragement, or taking actions that soothe. Consider an individual who has just made a significant mistake at work, leading to a setback for their team. Their immediate internal response is a torrent of harsh self-criticism. I'm so stupid. I always mess things up. I'm going to get fired. This inner monologue fuels intense anxiety and shame, making it difficult to think clearly or move forward constructively. Through cultivating self-compassion, they learn to interrupt this cycle. Instead of spiraling, they might pause, acknowledging the painful feeling of disappointment and shame. Mindfulness. They then remind themselves that everyone makes mistakes, and this is part of being human, common humanity. Finally, they offer themselves kindness, perhaps by placing a hand over their heart and saying, "This is really hard right now, and it's okay to feel this way. I'm doing my best, and I can learn from this." Self-kindness. This doesn't erase the mistake, but it changes their internal experience, allowing them to approach the situation with greater clarity, resilience, and a more constructive mindset. They realize that by being kind to themselves, they are better equipped to address the challenge, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by fostering inner strength. Here are ways to cultivate self-compassion through mindfulness. The self-compassion break. When you notice yourself suffering, e.g., Feeling inadequate, stressed, or sad, follow these 3 steps. Mindfulness. This is a moment of suffering. Acknowledge the pain. Common humanity. Suffering is a part of life. Connect to shared human experience. Self-kindness. May I be kind to myself in this moment. Offer yourself comfort, e.g., gentle touch, kind words. Compassionate body scan. As you do a body scan, notice areas of tension or discomfort. Instead of judging them, send them warmth and kindness, imagining your breath soothing those areas. Mindful self-talk. Pay attention to your inner voice. When it's critical, consciously reframe it with a kinder, more understanding tone, as if speaking to a friend. Journaling for self-compassion. Write about a difficult experience, first from a self-critical perspective, then rewrite it from the perspective of a compassionate friend offering support. Soothing touch. When feeling overwhelmed, place a hand over your heart, gently stroke your arm, or give yourself a hug. Physical touch can be incredibly soothing and activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Mindful movement with self-compassion. Engage in gentle movement, focusing on what feels good and nurturing for your body, rather than pushing through pain or striving for perfection. Cultivating self-compassion is a radical act of self-care that profoundly changes your relationship with yourself. It builds inner strength, resilience, and a deep sense of worthiness, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and presence. By bringing mindfulness to your inner world with kindness, you discover that self-compassion truly changes everything. Chapter 9. Mindfulness and Emotional Regulation. Navigating Inner Storms. Emotions are a fundamental part of the human experience, providing valuable information about our inner world and our interactions with the environment. However, when emotions become overwhelming, intense, or prolonged, they can feel like inner storms, hijacking our attention, clouding our judgment, and pulling us away from the present moment. Mindfulness offers powerful tools for emotional regulation, allowing us to navigate these inner storms with greater awareness, wisdom, and less reactivity. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about relating to them in a healthier way. Emotional regulation, through a mindful lens, involves several key steps. Awareness, noticing the emotion as it arises without immediately reacting. Acceptance, allowing the emotion to be present rather than fighting it or wishing it away. Investigation, exploring the emotion with curiosity. Where do I feel it in my body? What thoughts are associated with it? Non-identification, recognizing that you are not your emotion. It is a temporary experience passing through. Wise response, choosing how to respond to the emotion rather than being driven by it. Consider an individual who frequently experiences intense anxiety before public speaking. This anxiety often manifests as a racing heart, sweaty palms, and a mind filled with catastrophic thoughts about failure. Their usual response is to try to push the anxiety away, distract themselves, or avoid public speaking altogether, which only reinforces the fear. Through mindfulness, they learn a different approach. When the anxiety arises, they first notice the physical sensations and thoughts, awareness. Instead of fighting it, they mentally acknowledge its presence, perhaps even saying, "Hello, anxiety," acceptance. They then gently investigate where they feel it in their body, noticing the tightness in their chest or stomach. They remind themselves that this feeling is temporary and that they are not their anxiety, non-identification. This practice creates a crucial space. Instead of being overwhelmed, they can then choose a wise response, perhaps by taking a few grounding breaths, reminding themselves of their preparation, or focusing on the purpose of their speech. This doesn't eliminate the anxiety entirely, but it allows them to navigate it with greater composure and effectiveness, demonstrating how mindfulness changes everything by transforming their relationship with challenging emotions. Here are strategies for mindful emotional regulation. Name it to tame it. When a strong emotion arises, simply name it mentally, e.g., anger, sadness, fear, joy. This act of labeling can help to create distance and reduce its intensity. Feel it in your body. Instead of getting lost in the story of the emotion, bring your attention to where you feel it physically. Is it a tightness, a warmth, a pressure? Observe these sensations with curiosity. The wave metaphor. Imagine emotions as waves in the ocean. They rise, peak, and eventually subside. You can learn to ride the wave without being pulled under. Rain practice. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. Recognize what is happening. Allow the experience to be there, just as it is. Investigate with a gentle, curious attention. Nurture with self-compassion. Mindful breathing for regulation. Use your breath as an anchor during intense emotions. Focus on long, slow exhales to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Delay your response. When a strong emotion prompts an impulsive reaction, give yourself a mandatory pause. Count to 10, take a walk, or step away before responding. Practice self-compassion, revisit it. When experiencing difficult emotions, be kind to yourself. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Seek support. If emotions feel overwhelming, reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. Mindfulness provides a powerful framework for understanding and skillfully navigating the full spectrum of human emotions. By learning to observe, accept, and respond wisely to your inner experiences, you gain greater emotional freedom and resilience, transforming inner storms into opportunities for growth and self-discovery. This profound shift in your emotional landscape is a testament to how mindfulness changes everything. Chapter 10. Mindfulness and Digital Well-Being. Reclaiming Attention. In the digital age, our attention has become a precious commodity, constantly fragmented and pulled in countless directions by the pervasive presence of technology. Smartphones, social media, endless notifications, and the allure of constant connectivity create a state of perpetual distraction, digital overwhelm, and a deep disconnection from our immediate surroundings and inner peace. While technology offers immense benefits, its unmindful use can erode our capacity for sustained attention, deepen anxiety, and diminish our ability to truly live in the present. Mindfulness offers a crucial antidote, empowering us to reclaim our attention and cultivate digital well-being. Digital well-being, through a mindful lens, is not about abandoning technology entirely, but about creating intentional boundaries and periods of disconnection to foster a deeper connection with the now. It's about being the master of your devices, rather than allowing them to master you. The goal is to reduce the constant pull of the digital world so you can fully engage with the richness of your real-world experiences, your relationships, and your inner life. Consider an individual who finds themselves compulsively checking their phone every few minutes, even during meals, conversations, or while trying to relax. They might feel a persistent fear of missing out, FOMO, or a compulsive urge to respond to every notification immediately. This habit leads to fractured attention, strained relationships as loved ones feel ignored, and a persistent feeling of anxiety or restlessness when not connected. They might struggle to focus on deep work, truly unwind, or engage in meaningful offline hobbies, as their mind is always anticipating the next digital ping. The turning point comes when they realize this constant digital engagement is robbing them of their presence and peace. They might start by implementing small digital detoxes, setting specific no-phone times, e.g., during meals an hour before bed, turning off non-essential notifications, or designating certain areas of their home as tech-free zones. Initially, they might experience withdrawal symptoms or a heightened fear of missing out, but as they persist, they notice a significant improvement in their ability to focus, their quality of sleep, and the depth of their real-world interactions. They discover that true connection and contentment are found offline, in the richness of the present moment, affirming how mindfulness changes everything by helping them reclaim their attention. Here are strategies for cultivating digital well-being through mindfulness. Implement no-phone zones. Times. Designate specific areas, e.g., bedroom, dining table, or times, e.g., first hour of the day, last hour before bed, during meals, as completely tech-free. Turn off non-essential notifications. Most apps do not require immediate attention. Turn off notifications for social media, news, games, and non-urgent emails. Check them on your own terms, at designated times. Schedule digital check-ins. Instead of constantly reacting to pings, set specific, limited times during the day to check emails, social media, or messages. Treat these as intentional tasks. Create a digital sunset. Establish a consistent time each evening when you put away all screens, e.g., 60-90 minutes before bed. This allows your mind to wind down naturally, improving sleep quality and fostering presence before sleep. Charge devices away from your bedroom. This simple act removes the temptation to check your phone throughout the night or first thing in the morning, encouraging a more mindful start to your day. Curate your digital environment. Unfollow or mute accounts that trigger negative emotions, comparison, or excessive distraction. Actively curate your feeds to include content that inspires, educates, or brings joy. Practice mindful scrolling browsing. If you do engage with social media or the internet, set a timer. Before you start, take a few breaths and ask, "What is my intention here?" When the timer goes off, stop. Notice how you feel. Engage in offline hobbies. Actively pursue activities that require your full, undivided attention and are inherently screen-free, e.g., reading a physical book, cooking, gardening, playing a board game, spending time in nature, creative arts. Communicate your boundaries. Let friends, family, and colleagues know if you're taking a digital break or have specific times when you're unavailable. This manages expectations and reinforces your commitment to presence. By consciously managing your relationship with technology, you reclaim your attention, reduce mental clutter, and create more space for genuine presence. A mindful digital detox is not about deprivation, but about liberation. Liberation from constant distraction and the anxiety of missing out. It allows you to fully inhabit your life, discovering that in the quiet moments of real-world engagement, true contentment and connection reside. This fundamental shift in how you interact with the digital world is a powerful testament to how mindfulness changes everything. Chapter 11. Mindfulness for Creativity and Problem Solving. In a world that increasingly values innovation and effective solutions, the ability to think creatively and solve complex problems is paramount. Yet, our modern habits of constant distraction, mental clutter, and relentless busyness often stifle the very conditions necessary for these cognitive functions to flourish. Mindfulness, by cultivating presence, focus, and mental spaciousness, offers a powerful pathway to unlocking your creative potential and enhancing your problem-solving abilities. It's about creating the optimal internal environment for insights to emerge. Creativity and effective problem-solving often require a unique interplay between focused attention and diffuse thinking. Focused attention allows us to delve deeply into a problem, gather information, and analyze details. Diffuse thinking, often occurring during periods of rest or mind-wandering, allows the brain to make novel connections, synthesize information, and generate new ideas. Mindfulness supports both of these modes. Consider an individual who feels stuck on a complex problem at work. They might spend hours staring at their screen, feeling frustrated and mentally blocked, constantly replaying the same limited solutions. Their mind is cluttered with stress and self-doubt, preventing any new insights from emerging. Through practicing mindfulness, they learn to approach the problem differently. They might start by dedicating a period of focused work, bringing full attention to the problem, but then intentionally take a mindful break perhaps, a short walk in nature, or a few minutes of focused breathing. During this break, they consciously let go of trying to solve the problem, allowing their mind to wander freely. It is often during these periods of diffuse thinking, when the mind is relaxed and not actively striving, that a new perspective or a breakthrough solution suddenly emerges. When they return to the problem, they do so with a refreshed, clearer mind, able to see connections they missed before. This integration of focused work and mindful breaks demonstrates how mindfulness changes everything by fostering an environment conducive to innovative thinking and effective problem solving. Key ways mindfulness enhances creativity and problem solving. Enhanced focus and attention. By training your attention muscle, mindfulness allows you to concentrate more deeply on a problem, absorbing details and nuances that might otherwise be missed. This is crucial for the focused mode of thinking. Reduced mental clutter. Mindfulness helps to quiet the incessant mental chatter, worries, and distractions that often block creative flow. A less cluttered mind has more space for new ideas. Increased mental flexibility. Regular mindfulness practice can improve cognitive flexibility, making it easier to shift perspectives, consider multiple possibilities, and break free from rigid thinking patterns. Access to diffuse thinking. By encouraging intentional pauses and periods of non-doing, mindfulness creates the conditions for diffuse thinking, where unconscious processing can lead to unexpected insights and aha moments. Improved emotional regulation. Creative blocks and problem-solving impasses are often accompanied by frustration, self-doubt, or anxiety. Mindfulness helps you to observe and navigate these emotions without being overwhelmed, allowing you to persist with greater resilience. Heightened sensory awareness. Engaging the senses, as discussed in Chapter 4, can provide fresh input and inspiration, sparking new ideas and connections. Non-judgmental exploration. Mindfulness encourages an attitude of curiosity and non-judgment towards ideas, even those that seem unconventional or wrong at first. This fosters a safe space for experimentation and risk-taking, essential for creativity. Reduced fear of failure. By embracing imperfection and self-compassion, mindfulness lessens the fear of making mistakes, which is a common barrier to creative exploration. Mindfulness is not a magic bullet for instant genius, but a consistent practice that cultivates the optimal internal conditions for creativity and effective problem solving. By bringing presence, clarity, and spaciousness to your mind, you unlock your inherent capacity for innovation and wise action. This profound impact on your cognitive abilities is yet another powerful way that mindfulness changes everything.